Brady, not great numbers, but once again was perfect on the end, or in the end, 6 out of 6, leading up to that 40-yarder.
How tough was this one?
Yeah, tougher than we should have been and tougher than we wanted, but they played really well on defense.
19-16, the final, and the Bucs stay atop the NFC South.
Tampa with the win. They go to 7-9.
I am of the mind, when in doubt, trust the greatest of all time.
You know, we grinded out, found a way to win, and good to win, and we got to go home and play for a huge game on Sunday.
The Bucs will clinch the division if they beat the Panthers this coming week. The drama of the NFL just continues to give us plenty of treats.
I see Tom Brady all week, locked in, ready to roll. He had 4 turnovers in the second half of that game last week versus the Bengals. I don't see that happening again.
Bucs handling business here. This one was probably a little bit more tense than we had anticipated.
Once again, as we've seen a couple times this year, this is a lifeless Tampa Bay offense, and then when they get desperate, somehow Tom Brady does the things he needs to pull them out into overtime and then to victory.
Yeah, John, as Mike alluded to in those highlights, Tom Brady finally made some throws in the overtime period to get the win.
It looked like you double pump fake Gage. You're getting them to bite a little bit and then threw it over the top. Is that what happened there?
Yeah, it was good. You know, we kind of set it up. We had a few plays where they were really aggressive on some of those little flare routes, and you know, we just said, hey, let's make an adjustment and pump it and give ourselves a shot, and ended up being a good play.
Tom Brady and the Buccaneers stumbling to the regular season finish line, but in the end, enough to believe there's still a pulse. What's your read?
Yeah, they're the cockroach of the NFL. Every single time it feels like, you know, it's about to go nuclear and this thing is going to go in the complete opposite direction, they somehow come up and they are winning these football games. We've seen it earlier in the year against the Rams. We've seen it against the New Orleans Saints. And now we're seeing it here against the Arizona Cardinals. They win these ugly games. They take advantage of mistakes. Obviously, the McCourty fumble and turnover that really kind of sparked this thing.
Take me through some of these critical moments down the stretch in the fourth quarter and in overtime.
It's interesting with the Bucs because they've kind of done this the last couple of weeks. They just look like absolute garbage for 3.5 quarters, and the longer these games go, Brady tends to get into a rhythm and he figures you out, you know, for lack of a better term. He understands there's only so many coverages you can come into the week with. There's only so many ways you can play his guys.
When I'm looking at this one, I'm looking at the Cardinals defense, which blitzes at the 5th highest rate in the league. I'm looking at how Tom Brady will have to figure out like these quick passes and he'll just beat that blitz. And if you look to see what happens to the slot receivers, you know, a good slot receiver situation here. They're the 9th most generous to slot receivers. So that means Chris Godwin, have yourself a day.
Let's go.
He's going to be, to me, he's my 2nd highest rated receiver for the day in terms of stat line, just behind Tyreek Hill. I think it's going to be a really great opportunity to limit all of those turnovers that we've been seeing. Chris Godwin, I love this one today.
And then you can see him talking on the sideline to his guys. Hey, this is what we're going to dial up. He goes back to the throw there that he threw an interception on earlier. He was on time in rhythm there. Gets the ball out, gets some more yardage for an easy kick at the end. And it was brilliant. It was just a great job. And he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time, if not the greatest, in these situations. And that's really the last couple weeks. That has been their go-to. Get Brady on the line of scrimmage. You heard Collinsworth and these guys talking about it. It slows the rush down. It lets him get in rhythm. He throws it to the backs 80% of the time. If you play too tight and you jump those guys, he'll make his throws outside, which he did. And the defense played well enough against maybe an inexperienced quarterback, but you still had to get the win because, you know, they're battling for a division right now.
Yeah. Levante David and Devin White, the 2 linebackers for Tampa Bay, as they allude to on the broadcast, they missed 1 snap between the 2 of them all season long, and they controlled the game.
Was there any particular reason things went so well on that final drive?
In the end of overtime? Yeah, I think we're all comfortable, you know, in those situations. Had some long fields, obviously, turnovers again, but, you know, we grinded out, found a way to win, and good to win.
And what happens is he's trying to compensate for the lack of run game, and then right there he's got pressure right in his face, so he can't get the ball where he wants to get it. There's things and there's stuff that he's having to work through, compensating for the lack of run game, compensating for the offensive line who holds when he holds it longer than 3 seconds. There's a lot that he's battling through right now to make this thing work. This is not any of the great teams that Brady's been on, but I mean, like we talked about, if you let him hang around, he's going to eventually make a throw and beat you. He's going to make a couple throws. He's going to get you into no huddle. He's going to get your defensive line tired. And they're going to find a way to win the game, which they did. And rightfully so. They should have won this game probably 20 minutes ago, but they figured it out and they got the dub.
But how did you finally get it going?
Yeah, you know, our kind of no-huddle 2-minute package has been pretty good all year.
Good job Lenny did today running and catching the ball.
Awesome job. Ran really hard, was on a mission. Ran through arm tackles, ran hard, caught the ball well, pass protected well. So this team has a lot of resiliency. We fight hard. 7-8, it's not where we want to be, but got a chance to championship game next week.
I know this sounds counterintuitive. I had asked you this off air. Brady, we always prop him up, and rightfully so, for all the things that he can analyze in the moment as he's dissecting things, that anticipation that we always hear about, one of the best to ever actually do it. Is it almost working against him in this situation as he's trying to overcompensate for everyone else, and more specifically, that offensive line?
Yeah, because I think, and you talked about this earlier, there's so many holes in this team, and there's so many holes that he realizes that need to be fixed if they're going to be competitive. They're going to, yeah, he wants to win the division, I'm sure, but he wants to go do what he's done 10 times, make it to the Super Bowl. And so he sees all those deficiencies, and I think it does work against him. I think it takes away from his accuracy.
And guys made a bunch of plays. We had a bunch of Wells went down at left tackle, so we're hurting up front. And backs made plays, receiver made plays.
Yeah, they talked on the broadcast about him working on kind of a 2-second clock, man. If it wasn't out there, he was in trouble. How much can you do offensively if you give yourself 2 seconds?
Yeah, not much, and that's why they're struggling scoring. And they had that one touchdown that was called back for Julio Jones on the illegal shift.
I used to have a quarterback coach that said, a good quarterback can cover up, just like bad noodles, right? You get bad spaghetti. If you got a good sauce, it's okay, right? And a good quarterback can do that. And he did that tonight. He covered it up again. He's a good spaghetti sauce. Tom Brady, it's the best compliment I can give you.
We haven't had our best for 60 minutes yet, so we got to bring it.
Living on the edge doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun week to week here. 2 picks, 3 consecutive games now where Brady has thrown 2 interceptions. That actually ties a career high. He did that back in the early 2000s, which really doesn't seem like that long time ago, but it really is a long time ago at this point.
Say hi to my parents, my sisters, my kids. Love you all. Hope you had a good time. Merry Christmas, everyone.
All right, so this script becoming a little familiar for the Bucs. Struggled mightily the first 3.5 quarters, then figured out somehow at the end of the game. Sunday marked the second time this season that Brady has erased a double-digit fourth-quarter deficit. The last time he did that twice in a season, 20 years ago.
Tom, you never want to necessarily be in these positions where you got to come from behind, but your team feels very comfortable doing it.
Yeah, we keep it close in the fourth quarter. We know we got a shot, and just too many plays to not get ahead, and then we played better there in the fourth quarter. We executed pretty well, made a bunch of broke some tackles, ran hard. A lot of guys made plays in the past game, some contested catches, got a hit as soon as they caught it and came up with it. So defense really stepped up. So it was a great way to down 10 in the fourth quarter on the road. It's great to find a way to win.
Hey guys, that's a hell of a job coming back. Okay, hell of a job on both sides fighting. We know it wasn't pretty. Don't have to be as long as we get the win. You know what next week means, right?
Yep. Know what I mean?
We get our back on the plane and get some rest next week for all the marbles.
Let's go. Hey, when we supposed to see you?
I'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Way to fight, man. I ain't lying. Hey, that's how you stick together. That's brotherhood. That's what it's all about. Like he said, that shit don't gotta be pretty. It's Christmas. We got that win. We finna go celebrate. Let's go. Merry Christmas with me. Hey, win on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Just to be clear, here's where it stands in the NFC South right now. Bucs and Panthers play next weekend in Tampa Bay. If the Buccaneers win, they clinch the division. If Carolina wins, they are in the driver's seat to win the South. Which team right now, the Bucs or the Panthers, do you see as the bigger threat to win in round 1, which would likely be a home game against Dallas? Which one do you like better?
Yeah, see, this is weird because it does feel like it could be Tampa Bay. If you're the Dallas Cowboys and you are going on the road somewhere, the last place you want to go is Raymond James Stadium to face Tom Brady. Because of the history, because of the pedigree, you don't know what could happen if all of a sudden these Buccaneers start looking more like the 2020 Buccaneers or even the 2021 Buccaneers come postseason. Everything turns on, and now it's off to the races, and you're on upset alert, even though you're going on the road here. So for me, if you're Dallas, you do not want to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You want to see number 12 on his couch come postseason. You want to be going to Carolina to face the Panthers.
Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe as I post a new Tom Brady video every day.